You made a great move to join us in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics, coming to you from our outstanding studios as always, because we caught up with Vonn Bell, one of our favorites, no question, because this guy is all about football and he communicates it so well. Very popular with his teammates. He's very, very physical, but extremely intelligent. We talked to him about training camp, the process of indoctrinating the young players to the National Football League, adjustments that they have to make from the college game to the NFL game. And sometimes those adjustments start to show up, a la preseason game number one, where maybe you get a little bit handsy and all that sort of thing in the back end that leads to penalty issues. So it's interesting to listen to Vonn Bell and to listen to him talk about his process. It's all about the process with Vonn Bell. You're going to like what he has to say. What a great decision you made to join us in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics, because we are talking with one of our favorites, and that would be safety Vonn Bell. And you guys are, first of all, welcome. We appreciate your time, my man, on a day off during training camp. You're a heck of a man to take some of that time and give it to us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So you're into training camp, week into it. You just finished preseason game number one against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 17-14 score, final score in favor of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Boy, the last 5 minutes of that game, though, there was a lot of action, a lot happened in that football game down the stretch in the last 5 minutes. But take me through training camp before we start to talk about the game a little bit. Take me through training camp. You guys, I mean, boy, everybody, training camp is very, very physical. You guys are playing with an edge. It's impressive to watch what's going on. You guys are working hard, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Our goals in training camp, especially on our side of the ball on defense, Lou was always talking about how we was having non-negotiables about playing physical communication and just getting to our goals every day. No lows, no MEs, and just playing top-notch football on defense and just being physical. And we're just trying to improve our identity, and that's what we're trying to build every day in, day out when we hit that field in training camp, and just work on ourselves and holding each other accountable, and keep on building the standard and the culture that we've been having here in Cincinnati, and that breed that success to that playoff football.
You know, the thing I always like to watch is at training camp, the veterans and young players, the relationships that are starting to be established, and how much help, you know, a veteran guy like you can be to the younger guys. And you're like a coach on the field, my man. I love getting as close as I can to the back end and watch you and listen to you and what you're doing. And we talked about it before in the locker room. I remember the one practice, you know, after a play, you're like, young buck, man, I was telling you, I had the inside. Why'd you come inside? I was telling you I had the inside. And he gave up a completion to the outside, and you're telling him, you're taking him through it, you know, and reasons why, not just telling him the what's, but you're telling why. And I'm like, man, this guy, he's going to be a big help to this young player. And then, you know, it's like, oh man, don't disguise to the point where you're jeopardizing your rep. You know, you got to do your job. Make sure you do your job. Don't try to be too smart. Don't over disguise. I mean, all those kind of things are invaluable to young guys. And I really tip my cap to you for being a leader, doing that for the young guys.
Oh, yeah, especially now, these young guys, they're very smart. They're eager to out there make their stamp on this league, and they want to make plays. And they're being sponges, and they've been helpful for us too, giving their input of how they see things, and we're just feeding off each other. And because they got a different way of viewing things, I got a different way of viewing things, and I give them my success and my failures. And I show them on tape, and it happened. And they believe in it, and they trust in it, and we just building those bonds. And these guys are just eager, like I said, to go out there and make plays day in and day out and prove themselves and make an impact on this league and an impact on our room, and what can they do and how can they have a role and on this defense and on special teams and what the cause may be. So these young guys doing a heck of a job going out there every day and competing at a high level. So, you know, I tip my hat to them. They just keep on growing.
You're a very physical player. I mean, you thrive on contact, and so do these young players. they'll stick their nose in there, as the old saying goes. The kind of throwback players a little bit. And Josh Newton got the wind knocked out of him a little. He took a hit and got the wind knocked out, but a couple plays later, there he is getting that first interception of his preseason. As a Cincinnati Bengal, making that play. How impressive was that for him to respond like that?
Man, Josh Newton, man, we call him Fig. Man, that dude's a dog, man. He just wanna grind and impact some way and somehow. And he never backed down a challenge. And I told him to get back in there. He shaked it off quick. He said, "I'm about to get back in there." And I just knew his mentality and what he brings to the game and what it means to him. And that's what people don't really understand, what it means to him and how he take the field. His approach is every day. He's on edge every day. I'm talking about it's no backing down, and you respect the man. He coming about his business, and he's showing it, and he's putting it out there on display. So, hats off to him. Want to keep on growing and keep on making plays.
Dejon Anthony stuck his nose in there as well and paid a price. He had some blood in that nose. I'm like, man, I hope that sucker's not broken. They took him in the tent and everything, I guess, to check it all out. Is he okay as far as you know?
Oh, I already know. I haven't really seen. I just seen him a little swollen up a little bit. I told him to put ice on it, but I just always tell him it's charges to the game, man. I'm telling you, we break things, we tear things, and it just all amounts to the game that we play and that we love. So it's just the nature of the game, and he gonna be back in there, and he's not gonna bat an eye, and he gonna keep on sticking his nose in there again.
There you go. There you go. When you look at it, the game itself, it starts out, the offense goes on a 12-play, 73-yard touchdown drive, and then the defense comes out in the football field 3 and out. And if you draw it up, you can't draw it up any better. You hope your offense takes control of the line of scrimmage, takes control of the tempo of the game and scores. And then defense says, you got nothing, I'm giving it back to the offense. I mean, that's exactly how you draw it up, isn't it?
That's exactly how you draw it up, man. It's like a perfect story right there. Offense go out there and drive, score, and we do a 3 and out, quick in and out. And man, we want to keep on going.
Yeah.
It was a teaser for us, but man, it was job well done, job well executed, and that's what we wanted to show, and that's what we talked about. Quick 3 and out, go out there, be sharp, be laser focused, and have the guys out there as a one collective and going out there and play great football.
For the game, obviously that first drive they didn't get anything done offensively whatsoever. But for the game, they started to get that running game established. They rushed it 31 times for like 137 yards and a couple of touchdowns. And I know that's a big focus, a big point of emphasis for Lou this year. Last year had some struggles, in that running game, shutting that running game down. Have you had time to digest it, take a look at it? Was it more guys' gap control responsibility was questionable, or were they getting moved out of the gaps? What was it to your eye?
Yeah, sometimes in the back end, especially for the back end, it's probably misfits sometimes. Sticking your nose in there a little bit too nosy and whatnot, or just being just a little late. And I told the young guys it's going to happen faster in the game time. These guys out here fighting and clawing for position on spots and roster spots. These guys are going out here humming. And so it's just probably like a few misfits, coachable, and guys gonna be there in position next time.
So the thing that you in the first drive for both offense and defense, the number ones like we talked about, 7-0, perfect. I mean, no penalties, looked like no missed assignments. I mean, it was like machine-like. And then as started substituting guys, maybe overeager or whatever, or maybe from a technique standpoint, you get in the heat of battle and you fall back to other techniques that you're not being taught at the time and all those kind of things. But then 8 penalties. I mean, 8 penalties, and of course, the fourth and long penalty that occurred that gave him a 1st and goal at the 3-yard line was one that jumps out to everybody. But you want to play a cleaner game than having 8 penalties as a football team, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. But when the young guys get in there, they're still trying to translate to the new game in the NFL, where in college you can collision down the field or whatnot, the case may be. So the legal touching and stuff like that, getting a little 2 hands at the top of the routes, and they just out there trying to compete at the highest level. But they gotta learn, and those flags, that laundry come out very, very more often than such in the league, because they want to see more points scored. And so they gotta understand, you gotta be able to play with your feet now, play with your feet in your eyes. So be in great position, trust your leverage, trust your guy that's gonna be next to you, and know where your help is, and it's gonna make them a better player when they review the film and they get the coaching points, and when they really get a feel, in game like situations like that, that you can improve next time you're out there.
You make a great point, though, adjusting from the college, what you're allowed to do in the college game, adjusting to the pro game, and you're going against like the best of college players make it to the pros. So you're going against a higher level of competition, and you're not allowed to do what you did in college. So man, it's like 3 times harder. It's like, man, what do they want from me here, right? I mean, you got to make that adjustment mentally and physically.
For sure, that's why you make you the 1% of the world.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, this game's not for everybody. I'm telling you that. There's no two ways about that. Um, so how do you feel? What when young guys when they do make a mistake like that and they come to the sideline? You as a veteran player, do you kind of observe how they bounce back mentally? Do you go and try to give them some advice on how to bounce back mentally? How do you approach that part of it when a guy has made a mistake like that?
It varies sometimes, especially if it's a DB. I always want to see how he gonna respond. The case may be, he might know like, I didn't fall back fast enough in the gap, or the wide flash back, or my eyes, or keys on the boot, or whatever the case may be. But I always just tell him, man, reset. I feel like DB's gotta have a mindset of amnesia at times. Like, coach, what happened? It's a reset of the body,
Right.
because we all breathe off confidence. So you always got to have the next play mentality, and you got to go out there and challenge every play. If you catch the ball, if you make a big play, if you make a an interception, a big hit, a forced fumble, what the case may be, you always got to reset because they coming at you next play, and that's just the life of a DB. We on islands, we on coverage, and that's what they see in the back end. That's what the big plays are made. That's what ESPN is shown, and I always tell them that. So never be lack of confidence or whatever the case may be. Always link to your brother. I always tell them that. Always link to your brother. Play off each other, feed off each other, and breed confidence with each other when you're out there talking.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, if I'm an offensive lineman and my technique's sloppy and the guy beats me because, I wasn't sharp enough technique-wise or anything, I mean, instead of a 7-yard gain, maybe it ends up a 3-yard gain and nobody's going crazy about it. But on the back end, man, you're the last line of defense. You have a problem and they take it to the house. Now all of a sudden it's like, woof. And, it's that I think that's the key to success. A guy like you that's been in the league for so many years, not only do you have great physical ability, but that mindset of, okay, man, I'm compartmentalizing that. I'm going to learn from, but I'm putting it aside for now, and I'm going to move on. I'm not going to make that same mistake again. And then, like you say, don't think like, oh man, I've arrived. How about that pick, man? And then all of a sudden, man, you get humbled, So you gotta compartmentalize the success too, right? I mean, it's like you got to move on, man.
You can never be too comfortable, and we got, especially the DB, you got to live in the uncomfortableness. You got to live in that area and that uncomfortable, and always trying to grow, and always just being a sponge, and man, always just constantly perfecting your craft, and that's the life of a DB. And man, we always on edge, because these guys back there, we the supporting cast, and it's like, man, we got to put the umbrella over everything, and it's like, man, nothing can get back here, no bombs, and nothing. We
Yep.
keep everything in front.
That's the way to be, no doubt about it. Okay, so Joe Burrow has been having a great camp. You guys, everybody talks about it, and it's very obvious. And he goes in the football game, and all he does is go 5 for 7 and throws a touchdown pass, and Joe's Joe, and almost hooked up with T. Higgins. It would have been 6 for 7 or whatever with a lot more yards. It's still that one touchdown, obviously, but he is something special. When you watch him, though, no surprise. I mean, he sees the field so well. Is that your expectations? I mean, when you watch Joe, T. Higgins, and others perform in that first drive, it's like, yeah, we see this every day.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. When I see that, I have very high expectations for those guys, man. The sky's the limit for them, and man, when you see it day in and day out, it's just, man, it's just like a well-oiled machine. And those guys are very with their connection and with the offense and how that rhythm is going right now. And I'm talking about from the front to the backs to the tight ends to the receivers. So they're doing very well. They're on the same page with Joe. Joe getting them in the right protections and the right checks when he sees the safeties or the tilt of the rotation of the defense may occur to him. And he's just making it. He's just executing. He out there playing chess. He's dicing people up, and that's why he's one of the best in the world. So we tip our hats to him. We love going against him every day. He's our quarterback. He's number one in our hearts, and we love going against him every day. And he's making us better, and you see it every day. And he's putting it out there on film. And he went out there like yesterday, and went out there like an oil machine. Like I said, went down the field and executed. And his job well done. Keep on building that momentum, and we got to keep on putting the right steps, foot forward into the destiny we want to get to.
Yeah, it was so crazy. Talking before the game with Zach doing a pregame show. I'm like, boy, wouldn't you like to have at least a 7-play drive offensively for a touchdown, your defense to go 3 and out? He goes, that's perfect. Yeah, that's it. Well, it's a 12-play drive, so Joe gets 12 snaps in the bank. Throwing the ball 7 times, completing 5 of them, a touchdown, and in the bank it goes. And then the defense again goes 3 and out. What do you think of young Jermaine Burton? I mean, 3 catches for 82 yards and back-to-back receptions, 37 and 38 yards, 2 catches for 75, one of them a touchdown. He's got some skills, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, I was excited to see him under the lights. I knew he was gonna make a big catch. I knew he was. I just felt it. I just felt that this guy could go, man. And he got big catch radius. I seen him, and he has that. I think he's starting to build that factor where throw me the ball. I don't care who's on me. He look at the quarterback like, give me an opportunity, give me a chance. So he kind of showed that yesterday, and I'm very excited. I want to keep on growing and keep on getting better.
How about I picked this guy as my my first star logistics in the trenches lineman of the game. Travis Bell, man, like 6 feet 6'1", 300 plus pounds. Dude, I thought he was inverting the line of scrimmage in the running game. He had that sack. He's bull rushing, throwing guards around. I'm like, man, Travis Bell, he's ringing that bell, man. He's taking advantage of opportunities here.
For sure. You always maximize your opportunities, man. He going out there had a motor, being out there playing with energy, enthusiasm, playing with one of his brothers out there on the line, and those guys were in unison. They was flying around that quarterback, making him feel uncomfortable, pushing the pocket, and going out there playing relentless.
Let me ask you, as a safety, a guy that he made some plays last night. Tanner Hudson just seems to be a guy that's like, man, I know I got to go prove myself every year. I know that. I understand that. And when I get a chance, man, I'm going to make plays. And the quarterbacks have a lot of confidence in this dude, don't they?
They do. They do. They love Tanner. They love Tanner. Big catch radius. He's very savvy with his routes. He also sticks down there and block too. So you never know if he's in the game just to pass or to run block. So that's a great mixture and combination and bouncing off each other. And he finds himself open. He's very savvy, like I said, with his routes. And man, he just finds a hole in those coverages at times, just sitting in the soft spots, and the quarterbacks find him. So I feel like their quarterback feels more comfortable with him being a security blanket in that offense. So I like him a lot, especially I love when they get in that 12 personnel with him in the second. And you never know what may occur with the boot action, what might occur. So, and they can split it out, make it look like 11 personnel with Mike split out, and they can do all types of things in that package. So I really like Tanner a lot.
So you've been banging heads. It got kind of physical down the stretch. You guys are probably tired of hitting each other, and then you get the preseason game #1 in your belt. But now you're going to be going in joint practices, controlled scrimmages, against an opponent, different colored jersey, for the next 2 preseason games. I mean, that just lays out perfectly, doesn't it? You're going to get great work. It's almost like you're getting multiple game reps leading up to that opener, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when going against another opponent, going against somebody in the league, one of the 32 teams, they always will have top caliber, competitors, athletes, and competition where you get to go against these guys, especially, to get the #1 pick overall in the draft. They got a lot of guys, transaction in the offseason with the receivers, with the running back Swift, Keenan Allen. They draft Doomsday, and they got Cole Kmet. So it's gonna be a great competition, especially there. And we're excited. We get tired of beating up on each other at times. Excited seeing the same faces at practice, but what an opportunity this group has, and we got to take advantage of it. And especially the reps we get, they're vital because they're just stepping stones in the path for our way where we're trying to get to. So the group's excited, they're eager to go, and we can't wait to see what we'll be doing in Chicago.
And Chicago, obviously, you're going there, so that's a road trip. And then the Colts got a short week and Thursday night against the Colts. But that when you travel to Chicago, you're traveling on Wednesday. You get that joint practice on Thursday. You got a day off, a walkthrough on Friday, and then the game on Saturday. That's a lot of time where you guys are together, in a hotel. There's big opportunity for bonding there, on the football field as well as off the football field. Do you guys look at that as a big positive as well?
For sure. We always talk about cohesive units and togetherness. And spend a lot of time together. That's what their time's for. I talked to Coach Taylor, and he wants the guys around each other a lot. Going to dinners. We always do that here regardless. We're always together. And just even more, and this where those memories and stuff are made along these journeys. And that's where those brotherhoods and that bonds are lifetime. And that's what it becomes. You look back and you just be like, man, you remember we was on this trip to Chicago, XYZ was at dinner, and it was like, and that's where it's bred, and that's where those elite teams really gel together. And when they're on the road, unfamiliar territory, and they just bond together. They dig deeper together. They go a little bit harder together, and those like I said, those brotherhoods for a lifetime really bond, and this was a time we could grow as one, as a team, and in this time. So I can't wait to see it, and can't wait to get to it together.
I know during the downtime, there's a lot of downtime. When you're on the road like that for a preseason game, and you get the controlled scrimmages and everything, and I was impressed when I'd see like all you defensive backs, the meetings were over and all that, but you're all together, 5, 6 guys watching more tape. And it's like, man, these dudes are serious now. I mean, these guys are about football, and you're having fun with it. It's not it's not like you're a grind. Yeah, it's an enjoyable experience, but you're still seeing things, learning things, having fun with each other. I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
That's what it's all about. Especially, I remember when Chuck, Coach Burt, he was like, he presented something to us as a unit, and he said, "Remove emotion, embrace the details." And that stuck with us. It's like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of DBs, we're very emotional, XYZ, very confident, but remove the emotion and embrace the details. And the details is that could be accountability or whatever the case may be when we watch a film together. We're being honest with each other. And, it's like, was that rep good enough? Was that a game rep? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, we can't let ourselves down or my brother down because I'm hurting him. If I'm not there in the post, or if I'm in the quarters, I'm telling him I'm inside for him, or being that help, or if I'm calling him off on the coverage. It's like, you gotta trust one another. And that's when that trust is bred. And if you can't be honest with me, how can I trust you? You know what I'm saying?
I wrote that one down, man. Remove the emotion, embrace the details. Man, I'll tell you, that's like a great football philosopher right there, man. That's like, when you have a phrase that means so much, you know what I mean? Just a few words that mean so much. That's big time right there. That's big time. So what do you love most about the game of football, Vonn?
I think what really drives me and keep the fire going is the process. Um, the process of preparation, and then when you get to apply the application and you get it done, it's like an operative of those Navy SEALs going out and getting the objective done. It's like, what's my next assignment? And it's like that's what always keep on driving me, and especially it's like seeing young guys come in and they becoming a young man, they become a grown man, and you see that process too. So the maturation process of that, and it just keep on driving me, and just being a vessel and just being a tool. So guys, just use me and just being there for one another, and that's what really what gets me, and that's why I really love the game.
So here's one that I thought, or it was spoken to me back in high school. My high school offensive line coach was big into phraseology, philosophy. I mean, he was a deep thinker, deep football thinker. And he goes, "Men, you know what team stands for?" And we're like, "Yeah, yeah." Okay. He goes, "Well, here's what I think team stands for. T stands for together. E stands for everyone. A stands for achieves. M stands for more. Together, everyone achieves more. That's team." And I'm thinking, dude, I mean, that hit me. And to this day, I mean, shoot, it's over 50 years ago, getting near 60 years ago. And, when I heard that, and I'm like, man, I'll tell you what, that makes a lot of sense because, man, it's if you think that you're what it's all about, you're playing the wrong sport, man. It's a team deal.
Team deal. Team deal. That's why offense breed off defense and special teams breed off one another with field position. And we feed off them with, battle possession and field position, and we just got to play a overall collective game within the team, with getting 3 and outs, getting the interception, flipping field position, offense scoring, or they make haste. They may be giving us a break with the time clock and the time possession, then we flipping the field, or with defense we're punting or punt returns or pinning them back deep or a big return. So it's all the team sport. It's all the team sport.
Final thought, I guess. The one thing that this preseason game gave you guys, like you talked about, there's situations in a football game. 4-minute drill, 2-minute drill, backed up at the 3-yard line, defending in the red zone and in the low red zone, trying to score in the red zone, low red zone. All of it, man. You guys experienced all of it in that first preseason game. There's a lot of very worthy tape to learn from, isn't there?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a lot of great tape to learn from, and we'll get in there and dissect it as a group. And I'm love to see how people go respond and see how people go get better from this tape and as a collective and a whole and as a team. And I'm ready to keep on down the forward and pushing forward together as a unit.
And that's why you've been in this game for as long as you've been in this game, performing at the level that you performed at. That attitude right there. That's Vonn Bell right there in a nutshell, man. Appreciate your time, stud.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.